So we're back on function and procedures. So last time we had made a program here where we put one function called add numbers, which returns an integer. And as we saw, this function just kind of creates two variables x and y, gives them the values, and then finds the sum and returns that sum there. Now, what if we want the program to work in such a way that instead of it giving itself numbers to add, we're going to give the functions the number to add? What do we do? So in this case, we can now make use of this space here. We can create what are called arguments in this. So arguments are more like the input which are going to be given to a function for it to work on. For example, you can give a function two values. Maybe we are going to call those functions values as x and y. And then when you give it those values, it's going to work on them and be able to find the sum. What we mean is something like this. So we can say int x and then int y. So in that case, I'm going to eliminate this, okay? And then I'm also going to eliminate this. Okay, now with this, it simply means this add number expects to be given two numbers. So it's calling one of them x and it's calling the other one y. And all it will do is just simply sum up those numbers and give you back the sum which has been returned. So then what's going to happen here on the call? Okay, what's going to happen? If you run this program the way it is like this, we're going to get a syntax error. Okay, so trying to compile that so that you see, okay, we are getting the error which says too few arguments to function int add numbers. So this function expects some input to it. So when you want to call this, you must give it two numbers and then separate by means of a comma. So what this means is something like this, and then, okay, like this we are saying the 11 is going to be given to x, and then the 43 is going to be given to y, and then this is going to give us the sum of these two numbers. So if we run this, execute this, okay, so there we are. So get the output here as 54 because when the program began running here, okay, it came first to this line number 22, found the cout, and then called the function add numbers, and then gave the 11 to x, and then gave the y the value of 43. So what happened is these values came here, so it added 11 plus 43 to get the 54 and return the sum. And this value 54, that is what is retained by the function add numbers, and hence that is what was printed on the cout here. So we can do better. Let's have two variables here, okay, a and b. Now this time around we're going to have someone enter the values, okay. We'll say first number. We want someone enter the first number, so this will go into the variable a. And then let's put in another one here, okay. We're going to say, okay, this is second number b, so we say this is second number. So now instead of putting in these numbers hard coded, we are going to let the user enter the numbers. So in this case, we can change this. Instead of passing the 11, we can pass the a, and instead of passing this, we can pass the b. So a and b are going to be given to x and y. So a and b and x and y are two different variables. So a is going to be given to x, meaning what is in a will be copied and put in x, and what is in b is going to be copied and put in y, and then the program is going to give us back the sum of the two numbers which we are going to enter. Okay, so let's try to run this again. So let me just close this. So let's run this. What are we going to get? Okay, so first number, okay, that, another number, okay, and we get that, okay, as the output. Okay, so in short, what we're saying is if you want to create a function, a function can be given input as some value which it's going to receive. So how do you specify those values or the inputs, the arguments? simply declare them like variables. These don't have to be integers all the time. They can be strings, they can be characters, it could be Boolean variables, it could be decimals. Okay, as long as you declare them properly here, such that when making a call to a function, you're able to refer to or to supply those values to those arguments, and then like that function is going to get those as an input and work on them and be able to return for you a value. Okay, so let's try to practice it and then try to think of ways in which we can play around with this. And then in the next video, we're going to try and see more of what we can do with functions and procedures.